Hi, this is Larry Hatch for Hatch's Beer of the Week, brought to you by Hatch's Encyclopedia of Beer, where you can get 4,000 detailed, fair, and often humorous reviews by true experts. Different panels that I picked myself, each with 20 plus years experience, and it's available only at brew-base.com. 100% free, no sign up, no credit card, no passwords, no nothing. Just go, it's there. Just click on the style you're interested in. We have our own classification of beer, by the way, with over 240 substyles. We rate beers from 1 to 5 bottles, 5 being perfect, and occasionally we give awards of merit to beers that are extremely exceptional. Today's beer is from Epic of Salt Lake City, and it's in the Big Bad Baptista series, and this is the Sextuple Barrel 6 Imperial Stout. And I've had probably 8 of the Big Baptistas, the BBBs, and they're all fairly good. A couple of them I didn't really like in a different series, like the Grandma Van's Candy Cane Stout. I didn't like, but that's not in the BBB series. And by the way, Salt Lake City is not where you'd expect the decadence of fine craft beer to be. But between Epic and Wasatch with their Polygamy Porter, there's some great beers coming out of Salt Lake. And I won't make any religious comments, but it's not the place you'd normally find that. Although they tell me Salt Lake City is the capital of prescription pill abuse. Anyway, not to belabor the point, this one got a perfect score with us. I'm going to start reviewing some beers that are not perfect, but I want to start with some of the best ones in this new series. This is our third. They say it's a culmination of a half-decade of pushing the boundaries on barrel-aged beer, the very final effort. And it's 11.5% in release number 3. I think it varies sometimes a little bit. And this is a 2020 production that we got in the in March of this year, 2021. And it's made with six barrel-aged ingredients. Salt is barrel-aged. So is the coconut, the cacao, the coffee, the almonds, and the base stout itself. And if you know anything about barrel aging, you can age other products. They don't have to all be beers and wines and ports and sherries, that kind of thing. So let me go through this again. Salt, coconut, cacao, which is cocoa, coffee, almonds, and their base stout. And believe me, their base stout is pretty darn good to begin with. It varies, they say, from 10.5 to 13.5%. So our release number 3 came in at 11.5, kind of lower middle. The malt bill is made out of Maris Otter, two-row, light Munich, chocolate, black, and roasted barley. The hops of choice are Nugget, Chinook, Cascade, and you do get a little bit of American-style hop nip now and again in the profile. But for something this potent, it's going to be more malt forward and wood forward and these other flavors. But you do get some hops, and that's why I got a perfect score. I mean, it's got 7, 8, 9 basic flavors plus all the complexity of the wood. You could do a wine review on this thing and people would name 70 different things, like Bing cherries from the south of France or something, I mean, you could go on with this thing like a whiskey or a wine and just pick out individual flavors all day long. Now, while ordinary Baptists are not comfortable with the word sex, they certainly are, well, this is a very slippery and tempting and lascivious product as a result. The pour is very dark brown, opaque. I wouldn't call it black, but it's a very dark brown The head is a light tan and did not persist well for us in several pours. Um, the first sip was slightly tart, and it was a little bit like a porter at first. I'd had I think 6 or 7 of the different Big Bad Baptistas, and I guess this is officially the 6th, but there are different variations and releases of them year by year. So of the 7, I think I've had them all, and then 2 of one of them, but I'll have to go back and check. It was a little bit like a porter, tartish, and then I got these malts, sweet mocha, 2 different nuts, the coconut and the almonds, just kicked in, and it became thick and dense right away. I wouldn't say it was barley wine dense, but it was getting halfway there. And like I say, it started off kind of tart and portery, and bam, then everything hit. The coconut is very rich, and that's what impressed us. A lot of coconut beers are not very coconutty, and that's because coconut's an expensive thing if you use the good stuff. And in the finishes, the more you drink it, the more you get coconut and almond in the finish. This was a 450 milliliter bottle, which in March 2021 was $16.99 for this big bomber. And again, I never hesitate to spend that kind of money on these epic products because they're always worth it. Now, some have missed the mark a little bit. Some are less than perfect, but this one hits on all cylinders. Flavor, complexity, lack of any flawed notes, the harmony of the flavors, the depth of all the flavors. There's nothing missing. Some stuff, the cocoa's missing. Other things, the coconut's missing. Other stuff, the coffee's missing, or a bad coffee. This one was like, bam. It's potent, it's agreeable, it's complex, yet it's approachable enough. It's not going to put you off like a barley wine sometimes, and it's endlessly likable at every turn. And it changes. Like anything that's complex is going to change. One sip's going to be slightly different than another. Maybe one will be coffee forward, another will be, coconut. Another will be maybe almond coffee. Maybe another will be wood vanilla and coffee. It's going to vary, so it's really likable. And this final effort pays off. And even if we're flavored stout heads and have tried over 200 flavored stouts and are jaded a little bit, this one just knocked us off. And again, I like to see salt being bourbon barrel aged. That's something a little different. And again, I think the salt in beer, whether it's caramel salt or whatever, I think that can be a good thing as long as it's not overdone. And the role of the salt intrigues me to no end on that. And some of the passages flow from, like I say, salty coffee to salty malts to coconut coffee to coconut chocolate to coffee chocolate, a little bourbon, a little vanilla almond. Oh, you get so many combinations. And then sometimes the sweet malts will just nail you. The good basic barrel-aged stout malts without flavor. All the various combinations you get. It has everything. It has them in spades. Nothing that they claim to be in here is hiding or weak. It's really full-blown, but it's, again, very agreeable, approachable. It's not going to punch you too hard, and it's going to crush you in the right ways. Again, please visit us at brew-base.com. Thank you.